Good Friday morning, everybody. This is Bobby Hesley coming to you live from my morning walk. One of my favorite places in the world. Very peaceful place here. Anyhow, I felt the need to make a video because I woke up to some pretty, I'm not going to call it disturbing news because I'm actually not freaking out about it. For those of you who don't know, President Donald J. Trump and his wife, Melania Trump, just tested positive for COVID-19, according to the president's Twitter account. And that's actually not what's disturbing me, because he's going to recover. Hydroxychloroquine, baby. For those of you who want to see the magic and the power of hydroxychloroquine, wait until you see what it does for President Trump and how quickly it helps him recover from COVID-19. And maybe the president catching COVID-19 and quickly getting cured from his COVID-19 by using hydroxychloroquine, maybe that's going to send a message to the nation. Like maybe he can be a shining example of the effectiveness of that drug. Because when I was back in Thailand back in January of this year, when COVID first started breaking out like crazy, Thailand was the very first place outside of China that was hit with COVID. And they were using hydroxychloroquine back then, and it was curing people like crazy. If you guys go back on my Facebook wall, you'll see that. But anyway, that's not what's disturbing me, the fact that the first family has COVID-19. I'm very confident they're going to recover quickly and without event, and they're going to go about their business. Obviously, they have to quarantine for 14 days. What disturbs me, guys, are the evil joy and the evil glee and the evil, cruel just gloating that I'm seeing from people on the left, people that don't like President Trump, over the fact that he has COVID-19. Yes, he's a president that you hate. Yes, he's a president that does things that you don't like. He builds walls. He lowers taxes. He saves babies. He creates jobs for black people. You know, he lowers black unemployment down to numbers they haven't been at ever since they started recording in 1973 with their Bureau and Labor Statistics. He reforms prison, you know. He lets harshly convicted felons out of prison that had harsh prison sentences. He protects us overseas. I know President Trump does all those things that you don't like. You know, he designated the KKK as a terrorist organization, the first and only president in history to do that. I know you guys don't like that, you know. But the fact is, aside from all of his politics, he's a man. He's a human being. He's a husband. He's a father. He has a 10 or 11-year-old son that's still living with him and Melania at the White House. Okay? He's a human being, guys. COVID-19 does not discriminate. It's an equal opportunity virus. And the fact that people are glad and are celebrating the fact that a human being has COVID-19, I think is absolutely despicable. I really do. As much as you don't like the president, be a human being. Have a heart. You know, when Barack Obama was president for 8 years, you guys can believe me or not, but God is my witness. I prayed for President Barack Obama every day when he was president. As much as I spoke out against him, as much as I couldn't stand what he stood for, as much as I disagreed with all of his policies, and as much as I had to stand back and watch him destroy our economy, as much as I had to stand and watch him allow sickos go into little girls' bathrooms, all the terrible things that Barack Obama did, the deficit that he drove up, you name it, guys. He did so many bad things to this country, I can't even think of them all off the top of my head. But that didn't stop me from praying for him. If he would have gotten COVID-19, or I even hate to say it, if he would have gotten like assassinated or something, like if somebody shot him, I would have prayed for him. I really would have. I mean, you know, you guys have to learn how to separate disagreement from just basic humanity. That's what disturbs me. You know, if you don't agree with somebody's policy, that's one thing. Speak out against it. Do your research on it. I get it. But be a human being. They're a fellow human being. I feel like I had to make this video because of that. Now, I'm not worried at all about this. I mean, obviously, you want to worry when somebody has COVID-19. I think they're going to pull through. I could be wrong, but you guys got to realize COVID-19 has a very high recovery rate. I would say that most people have had COVID-19. I believe I had it. I really do. I believe at one point in time I had COVID-19. I just got tested for it this week, actually, because my doctor, wanted to test me for it. They got this policy where if you've been overseas, you have to get tested for COVID-19 before you can come back into their office. And I wanted to do my, checkup appointment. I got back from Thailand last month, and I just now was able to get to the doctor just to do a, overall physical. And I had to get tested. Don't worry, I tested negative. But, I believe I had it at one point. I think everybody's had COVID at one point. That's the nature of viruses, guys, and that's why the curve has been flattened, not because of all this quarantining stuff, but I believe that we're approaching herd immunity. I believe that we are starting to, as a whole, beat this thing. We're weeks away from a vaccine. There's lots of people that fall on either side of that. That's probably not the scope of this video. That's a whole nother video. But the fact is, guys, President Trump is going to pull through. And for all the people that are excited about his COVID-19, are you going to be just as excited on the night of November 3rd when Donald Trump gets reelected and Biden has to go back into his basement? That's what I'm waiting to see. Now, I am going to gloat when that happens. I know I'm trying to put myself and I'm trying to put everybody else above gloating over another human being having COVID-19, which is a terrible thing to do. You need to do some serious self-inventory if you're doing that. But I'm not going to put myself above gloating like crazy on the night of November 3rd. When we see everything, let me try to see if I can remember everything that people have done to try to stop President Trump, to try to undermine him. It all started with the Russian thing, right? You had the Russian collusion hoax. That was number one. Then you had, I believe that a lot of this COVID-19 stuff, I believe it was a legit virus. Don't get me wrong, guys. I was warning people about coronavirus all the way back in January of this year. Go back on my wall. Go back to January 2020. I saw it 8,000 miles away coming. I knew it was coming to America. So, COVID is a legit virus, but it's not as bad as people are making it out to be, I'm telling you. And I believe that part of that was to hurt Donald Trump. I really do. Every time I see people wearing masks, and every time I see all this social distancing stuff, and I see this new normal that we've all had to live with, all I can think of is, man, if there was a Democrat president in office right now, we would not be seeing all this. We wouldn't be wearing these face thongs. That's what I call them. I call them face thongs. I'm sick of these stupid masks, man. But the only reason I wear my face thong is so I can get freaking groceries. I ain't going to starve just to make a political statement. I ain't going to go on hunger strike and not be able to get groceries because I don't want to put on a face thong. So I go along to get along. But every time I see everybody wearing these masks, and every time I see everybody going down these one-way aisles in grocery stores and seeing movie theaters shut down, and, all I think of is there's no way it'd be like this if it was a Democrat in office. You know why? Because I remember the swine flu back in 2009. I remember H1N1. And we weren't wearing face thongs back then. We weren't forced to stay 6 feet apart. We weren't forced to miss the weddings of loved ones. We weren't forced to not visit our parents when they're sick in their nursing homes. None of that was going on back then. And swine flu killed way more people. It did. But because we had a Democrat in office, they didn't need to wage war on American public to get them out, right? So everything that's been done to undermine Trump, all these tell-all books that fall flat, that flop on the New York Times, all the Russian collusion hoax crap, all the sabotage, none of it has been able to stop Donald Trump. None of it. And I put COVID-19 in the same category. There's a reason why we haven't heard him call this in a long time. They used to call him this more so when he was a candidate. But guys, there's a reason they call him Teflon Don. Nothing sticks to this guy, including COVID-19. He's going to beat it. Him and the first lady are going to beat it. They're going to come back stronger than ever. Now, they have to quarantine for 14 days, which puts him past the next debate, which is on October 15th. So people are thinking, well, man, if he misses a debate, That's not going to be good. Well, two things to that. Number one, I don't think it would be the end of the world if Donald Trump misses the debate, to be honest with you. People may not realize this, but debates, presidential debates, televised presidential debates, are not as important as people think they are. They don't sway elections. They don't. If you go back and study every debate, I believe the first televised presidential debate was the Nixon-Kennedy debate in 1960. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, guys. But it's more of a tradition than it is a necessity. And I just don't think that debates, pretty much debates of any kind, sway people. Most people that attend a debate, they come in with their mind made up. They come in wedded to whatever opinion they have. And most people will leave a debate wedded to whatever opinion that they have. And some people might think, well, debates are not for the choir, right? Debates are not supposed to preach to the choir. Debates are for people who, the undecideds, these precious undecideds in the middle. You know what, guys? I truly believe, and this, I made this video this past Sunday. I have been working directly with the Trump campaign, his headquarters in Detroit. And guys, we are seeing, like I said on Sunday, an underground railroad of secret, quiet, black support among President Trump. So let's say we don't get these precious independents, these undecideds. I don't know how somebody can be undecided in this day and age. I mean, 4 years ago, it was harder to buy groceries. You were less safe at home and abroad. There's been so much that has changed for the better in the last 4 years. If you're an undecided now, I'm sorry, but you ain't been paying attention. But I believe that there are enough black Trump supporters, and again, they're not out there, they're keeping it hush-hush, that are going to more than make up for any independence that we're not able to sway with these televised debates. So I'm not worried if President Trump misses the next debate. My opinion on the first debate he had with Biden, I don't think he made himself look good. He didn't lose my vote over it. He didn't lose any of his base's vote over it. I think he had a plan that kind of backfired. I think he wanted to rattle old Joe, and he wanted to discombobulate Joe and get Joe to come out. But I feel like he kept interrupting too much to where he kind of foiled his own plan. Because Joe was starting to act stupid. He was starting to act like Joe. And if Trump would have just let him talk, he would have let him implode. But I'll do a whole nother video on that. But the fact is, if Trump misses the debate, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I really don't. Second, when it comes to what if Trump misses the debate, aside from how I believe that debates don't really sway opinion, listen, guys, we're in the age of Zoom, man. Who says they couldn't have a Zoom debate? Who says that Donald Trump couldn't be quarantined? And you mean to tell me that they don't have the technology and the wherewithal to set up a presidential podium with a camera and put Donald Trump on Zoom? He's on one side of the screen, Biden's on the other side of the screen, and they can't just do a Zoom debate? I mean, come on, guys. We're in 2020, not 1920. Everybody's Zooming. I'm glad I'm not a kid anymore, because thanks to Zoom, there's no such thing as a snow day anymore. Oh, you kids of today are screwed, man. You guys don't have snow days anymore. Yeah. We used to have snow days when it snowed. Now you guys got to go to Zoom school. Sucks to be you kids, you 2020 kids. So do a Zoom debate. That's why I'm not worried. Guys, either way, it doesn't matter. The debates don't matter as much as people think. They ain't going to sway people as much as they think, because we got plenty of black underground railroad Trump supporters that are going to more than make up for these undecided independents who can't make up their minds. But number two, do a freaking Zoom debate, okay? And it's going to be very interesting to see if Joe Biden will agree to a Zoom debate, will agree to a virtual debate. He can be down in his little basement lair, where he's been hanging out all this time, telling me how black I'm not for not supporting him. All those stupid comments he made about black people, all these stupid racist comments that he's made this year, that if you don't support me, you ain't black. There's no diversity of thought in the black community. All that dumb stuff he's been saying, he's all been saying that from his basement. I mean, the guy did the DNC. Think about this, guys. If he's willing to do the Democrat National Convention from his freaking basement and interviewing Cardi B and doing all this stuff from his basement, why would he not be willing to debate for an hour and a half? Think about it. Michelle Obama was in her basement when she spoke at the DNC. Pretty much everybody who spoke at the DNC was in their basement. So do you mean to tell me that one televised presidential debate is more important than the Democrat National Convention? I don't think so. So if they can Zoom the DNC, they damn well better be willing to Zoom these debates. And if he doesn't Zoom the debate, that's very telling about Joe Biden. And I think it's going to hurt him if he doesn't agree to do it. I think it's going to make Joe Biden look like a coward. I think it's going to make Joe Biden look like the kid at school that didn't show up at the playground when he was called out during lunch hour for a fight. That's what it's going to make it look like. So Joe better, listen, if Biden knows what's good for him, he'll do a Zoom debate. Just camp out in your basement, put on your little blue suit you like to wear every time. He wears the same suit every single time with his little blue tie and his little blue blazer. Just suit up and go down in your basement. In fact, every time I see Joe Biden open his mouth, I say to myself, man, this is what happens when you let a senile old man out of the basement, man. You know, so don't worry about the debate, guys. Worry more about our president's health. Pray that he recovers. Pray that our first lady recovers, because at the end of the day, yes, Donald Trump is a very controversial, very polarizing political figure. I would argue he's the most polarizing political figure in the world. But at the end of the day, guys, he's a human being. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a man, and he's a human being. So just pray for him. Pray for a speedy recovery. Pray for his wife to recover. Because, guys, I don't care what side of the spectrum you fall on. We need a leader in office right now. We need our president right now. And if Joe Biden were to somehow become president for the 6 months that he's going to do it before he hands it over to Kamala Harris, because that's what's going to happen, I would pray for him every day. No matter who the president is, no matter how much I like or dislike them or agree or disagree with them, I pray for them every day. I include them in my rosary. And Joe Biden will be no different. President Kamala Harris 6 months later will be no different. I'll be praying for her when Biden hands it over to her, if they win. And that's how you roll, guys. That's how we roll. That's how Christians roll, okay? So hang in there, guys. Pray for our president. Hydroxychloroquine to the rescue. And I can't wait to see how quick he gets over this. And what do you guys say that we do a Zoom debate? I'm all for it. Let's push for a Zoom debate. All right, guys. Have a great Friday. The Bobby Hesley Show is going to be on fire, guys. I'm getting my equipment set up. It's coming, guys. Stay tuned. I will do updates. All right, love you guys. Peace.